Welcome to Dissenting Views, a brief history of China-UK relations, from conflict to collaboration. What do tea, opium, and innovation have in common? They all played pivotal roles in shaping China-UK relations. This is the story of how trade, wars, and diplomacy turned two vastly different cultures into both allies and adversaries over the centuries. The story begins in the 16th century with Britain's fascination for China's tea, silk, and porcelain. These exotic goods mesmerized the British public, setting the stage for an uneasy partnership driven by mutual economic interests and mistrust. By the 18th century, China's self-reliance and strict trade policies frustrated the British. The East India Company sought a trade balance, first offering silver, then later resorting to exporting opium, a move that would haunt China-UK relations for years to come. Opium wreaked havoc in China, and the Qing government fought back by banning its import. But British merchants insisted, leading to escalating tensions that would escalate into open warfare, forever altering the power dynamic. The First Opium War, 1839 to 1842, erupted as Britain sought to muscle its trade privileges into the Chinese market. British forces crushed Qing resistance, leading to a humiliating defeat for China under the Treaty of Nanking. The treaty was brutal. Hong Kong was ceded to Britain, ports were opened, and trade terms heavily favored the West. The Second Opium War, 1856 to 1860, deepened this suffering, dismantling Chinese autonomy further under additional treaties. For China, the aftermath of the Opium Wars marked the start of its century of humiliation. The imbalance of power ushered in a period of internal strife and weakening sovereignty, leaving the nation vulnerable to Western exploitation. Hong Kong, meanwhile, flourished as a British colony and trading hub. Its success stood in stark contrast to mainland China's struggles, deepening resentment but also fostering opportunities for cultural interaction and exchange. The 20th century saw China and Britain pivot toward new challenges. The fall of the Qing dynasty in 1912 and the rise of modern China reshaped their relations. The two nations stood as uneasy allies during World War II, fighting against Japan while harboring historical grievances. In 1950, Britain became one of the first Western nations to recognize the People's Republic of China. This early acknowledgement paved the way for improved ties, even as political differences and Cold War pressures persisted. The future of Hong Kong remained a contentious issue throughout the 20th century. When negotiations began, the 1984 Sino-British Joint Declaration established Hong Kong's return to China in 1997. The one country, two systems model was a groundbreaking compromise. Under British rule, Hong Kong thrived as a global financial center. Yet, its 1997 handover symbolized China's resurgence and a moment of reflection on the colonial past, embedding Hong Kong into the evolving narrative of China-UK relations. Today, China and the UK enjoy a dynamic economic partnership driven by trade and investment. British businesses thrive in China's massive markets, while Chinese investors play a crucial role in key UK industries. However, this relationship isn't without tension. Debates over geopolitics, technology, and human rights create complex layers in an otherwise thriving economic relationship. Issues such as the Hong Kong protests, Tibet, and human rights have introduced new strains into modern relations. Britain's advocacy for democracy and freedoms often clashes with China's policy of non-interference, igniting diplomatic debates. These challenges highlight the delicate balance between standing for values and sustaining beneficial partnerships. This moral tightrope continues to shape bilateral policies and public opinion in both nations. Despite political challenges, cultural exchanges between the UK and China have flourished. Thousands of Chinese students study in British universities, bringing their culture to Western shores. British art, literature, and technology are equally appreciated in China. These shared experiences and interactions have helped bridge cultural divides, showcasing the potential for mutual understanding even amid political hurdles. As global powers shift, so does the balance between China and the UK. Post-Brexit, Britain seeks stronger global alliances, including with China. Meanwhile, China's rise as an economic powerhouse signals both opportunities and challenges for future cooperation. The road ahead depends on mutual respect, strategic collaboration, and a recognition of their intertwined histories. Can these two nations continue to build bridges, or will history repeat itself? The history of China-UK relations reminds us of the importance of learning from the past to shape a better future. Share this story to inspire conversations about global diplomacy and cultural understanding. Let's work together to foster collaboration over conflict, because history has shown us that cooperation can redefine the future. If you enjoyed this video, please comment and like. If you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe and share with a friend.